I hereby call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the East Central Independent School District being held on September 18, 2025, and beginning at 6:30 p.m. to order. Madam Secretary, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Judge Brisbane. Here. David Santos.
Yes, ma'am, here.
Randall Whittaker. James Mulkey. Emilio Carrasco.
Here.
Monique Marissa.
Here. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next item on the agenda is the prayer and the pledge.
John?
Thank you so much, Mr. Scano, President, Trustees, and Board of Trustees. I have the honor today to present some outstanding students from Salado Elementary, specifically from our East Central Leadership Academy. They will do a presentation for you today. So we're going to start off with the pledge and the prayer. We're going to start with Madeline Espinosa, Jorge Dinky Alvarez, and Nehemiah Bradley.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
La hora de la bandera de Texas. No, amén. La hora de la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América, de la República, de representar una nación ante Dios, conocible con lealtad y éxito para todos.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Yo oro la bandera de Texas, de un estado a ti, Texas, un estado ante Dios, único e indivisible.
Father, we come to you asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this school year. Please guide the work and meaningful discussion. Allow us to nurture the minds of the community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that affect the students, faculty, and friends of East Central. And continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish, is in consideration of the students of this community. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here to witness the wonderful work that our students have done this year at Salado Leadership Academy. This year and every year, we do a video, which is like a problem-based learning platform. And the kind of main part of it is that there's a real-world problem and a question that goes along with it, which our students work to answer. And this year, our guiding question was, how can we use our superpowers or our traits and talents to make a change in the world? And we had a superhero PBL kickoff, which was amazing. We had lots of people from around the community who came to talk to our students about the traits that they had and the way that they make a difference in the world. And this is the video.
Thank
a guide where they were allowed to take notes as people spoke, noting their traits and talents that they noticed, and kind of thinking about what they thought was the difference that each of these people made. Thank you to these people who came and presented. I can tell you that our students really enjoyed it, and it's memorable for them. One thing we found out is that the main thing that the students found out was that superheroes do not need capes or masks to be superheroes. Superheroes are all of us. And now our students are going to share what they have learned so far in our PBL this year. The pleasure of introducing 5th grade class, Donnie Delgado, Jorge D. Alvarez, Madeline Espinoza, and Charlie Lee.
Thank you for having me. My name is Donnie Delgado. My superpower is music. This is a superpower because it can inspire and show emotions other people might be going through. When I'm older, I want to be a musician and perform in front of crowds. Some talents and traits I have are patience, imagination, and drive to get things done. I want to show people that they're not alone. That's what I want to do with my superpower. And this will affect the world by bringing people together. And my final presentation will be a song on the piano. Thank you.
My name is Jorge D. Alvarez. My talents and traits are our ability to speak to people, help people emotionally, and what I want to do with my superpower is I want to help people emotionally, and how I want to affect the world with the superpowers by making the person that I made happy, I could inspire them to do a similar action to a different person who's going through a bad situation. And my final presentation will be a Google slideshow. Thank you for having me here.
Hello, my name is Madeline Espinoza. My superpower is art. I want to be an art therapist when I grow up. My talents and traits that I have is that I'm kind, helpful, respectful, and creative and positive. This is why, the reason I want to be an art therapist is because I want to help people through creativity. I want to be an art therapist to help people mentally as well. Thank you for your time. And my final presentation will be a piece of art in my life that shows my emotions and feelings. Hello, my name is Charlie Lee. Thank you for having me. My talents and traits are that I'm kind, and I'm not afraid to speak for myself and for other people. When I grow up, I want to be a lawmaker, a youth congressman, so this will affect other people's lives by making people around you better and care to each other. My final presentation will be a Google Slide PowerPoint.
We now have 4th grade. This is Leo Morris and Benjamin Riggs.
I'm going to share our process. Our process is about how we can be a hero by helping, being kind, respectful, and superheroes we would feel super thankful for our life and super thankful. Our final project is egotistic. Thank you for having me.
Next, we have third grade, Travis Bynum and Amelia Menendez.
My name is Amanda Menendez.
And my name is Travis Bynum.
This is how we started and ended our superhero project. My superpower is kindness. I can use my superpower at school. I can help people if they are feeling sad and I can cheer them up. I can use my superpower in my community. I can help people cross the street if they can't see very well.
My superpower is also kindness. And I can help students learn when they're struggling. And if they're like struggling on something, I can help them like, do it, fix their work. If it's wrong. I can also help people pick up their groceries if they accidentally dropped it, and I can help them carry it inside. Our final project will be a locatora card.
All right, in second grade, we got Luca Gonzalez, Valentina Sanchez, and Jasper Segovia.
Good evening. My superpower is, good evening. I am Valentina Sanchez, second grade. My superpower is gratitude. I can use it to make others feel appreciated and loved. Hi, my name is Luca. My superpower is kindness, and I can use my superpower to help someone get up when they fall down.
Hi, my name is Jasper Segovia. My superpower is kindness, and I can use it to help someone feel better.
From first grade, we have Richard Diaz.
Hey, my name is Rachel Diaz. And my superpower is being safe at school. And I can use it by not touching bugs that will bite. My superpower is being respectful by helping others when they get hurt.
You can see the kind of graduation of understanding we have for ourselves, from kindergarten to fifth grade. For fifth grade, the next logical step is career and college readiness. If they've chosen their career of choice, or they think they want to do it anyway, they're only in fifth grade. They now can kind of look at how academics and what they're doing in school, how it connects to what they want to do in the future. So to that end, we're considering a project for recycling on campus, and also campus beautification using recycled items to change things directly around us. Hopefully, go out into the community. So we've got our superpowers. We need to think about what yours are too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and hopefully you enjoyed the amazing work. And we want to go ahead and thank our families. If you can please stand up, and so you can be recognized. Without your support, a lot of this cannot be possible. They practiced, as you can tell, quite a bit. We had a little bit of stuff, but it was good. They did great. So, all right, guys, if y'all can come sit right here at the bottom.
Thank y'all so much for that great presentation. Already appreciate you a lot, and we appreciate that so much for y'all sharing with us. If you just hold on with us for a second, we're gonna do some quick awards and recognition.
Yeah, turn it over to Mr. Cadet.
Yes, sir. Trustees, as you're aware, several years ago, ECISD came together to create a definition of leading the EC way. Over the course of 2 full years, we partnered with district leaders, campus principals, and other leaders from across the district to develop this comprehensive definition. The final product has 3 pillars: powered by people, strengthened by systems, driven by results. And within each of those pillars are 2 competencies. Under powered by people, you can see from the picture we have ahead is build relationships and effective communicator. Under strengthened by systems, we have cultivate culture and actualizes a compelling vision. And under driven by results, we have continuous growth and impact goals. So every month, we highlight one of these competencies, and we look for exemplars across our entire district. This month's competency was builds relationships. Under powered by people, with over 1,700 employees, this is a very difficult challenge. Tonight, we have 2 of the finalists that represent many across our organization that are exceptional at building relationships. First up, from Pecan Valley Elementary School, Evelyn Denley. They put Ms. Denley a little something to show.
Pecan Valley proudly nominates Mrs. Danley as Staff Member of the Month for her outstanding commitment to building positive relationships. From day one, she's gone above and beyond to connect with students, families, and colleagues, greeting with warmth, listening with care, and ensuring everyone feels valued. She enriches learning through purposeful vocabulary development while nurturing social emotional growth with compassion. Her collaborative spirit and supportive attitude ripple across the campus, making a lasting impact. We are grateful for her presence at Pecan Valley Elementary. Congratulations, Mrs. Danley.
One more time for Mrs. Denley. We know it takes a supportive family at home, so if any of her family are in the audience, would you mind also please standing so we can recognize you? Any of her family in the audience? So next up, from Salado Elementary School, Juan Martinez. Martinez, just hold tight, here we go.
We proudly recognize Mr. Martinez for going above and beyond as a new teacher at Salado Elementary. From day one, he's built a classroom rooted in trust, respect, and kindness, a space where students feel safe to learn, grow, and take risks. His ability to connect with students, families, and colleagues has already made a lasting impact, creating a welcoming environment where everyone feels supported and valued. Mr. Martinez models what it means to be both a learner and a leader, fostering unity and shared purpose that keeps students at the heart of all he does. Congratulations, Mr. Martinez.
If you have any family or friends in the audience, and I'm sure there's a lot of family will also join in, can you also please stand so we can recognize you? Up next. So the Purple Star Award is a very special recognition that's presented by the Texas Education Agency. It honors campuses that go above and beyond in supporting unique needs of our military-connected students and their families. This award was created in the 86th legislative session by Senate Bill 1557 and is granted on a 2-year cycle. Out of the more than 9,000 public schools across the entire state of Texas, only 95 campuses received the award this year. Tonight, we are incredibly proud to say that we have 5 of those campuses within ECISD. also say this is a repeat for this campus because this is now the second time, because this is the second year that they have had it, that they've earned it, which shows that they've gone back to back at the opportunity of being recognized for the way they support our military-connected families. This is a remarkable achievement and a powerful testament to the commitment, compassion, and excellence of our educators and staff in serving the military-connected students and families in our community. We would like the following campuses to come forward to receive your banner. From Heritage Middle School, Principal Andrea Chase. We're unveiling the first banner. It looks different. You want to take a group? You want to do one? Let's see. We can do a group. We can do a group. Next up, Legacy Middle School, Principal Heidi Highland. From Highland Forest Elementary School, Principal Brittany Irvin. Stand outside in the back. Well, I'm kind of surprised by this one, not really. From Salado Elementary School, and last but certainly not least, from Tradition Elementary School, Principal Karen Kopek. Yeah, there's a banner for each campus for you guys to proudly post for the next 2 years. And just so everybody also knows, this is important to know, every other ECISD campus will next year be eligible to reapply. So we expect, as we have currently, 100% of our campuses across the entire district will be Purpose Star award winners. So congratulations to our campus tonight. And can't celebrate
Okay, so at this time, we're going to take about a 10-minute break. We'll do that about 10 minutes break. And I'm going to go do homework or cook or clean or do laundry. Nobody take your work? Thank y'all very much. Appreciate Updates regarding ECISD district and community events.
Still say.
So I haven't been getting out much lately. I did go to football games for sure and a volleyball game. But I did go to Houston. I know my fellow board members did as well, but it's separated with the Leadership Academy program that I did last year. So I'm super excited about that, learning new things and building connections with all trustees all over the state. So I did that. I also just want to touch on Tiana and Salado. We did, so I judged PBLs a lot for Speak Up, Speak Up, and SUSO.
Okay, before I get out with my pitch, I'd like to kind of thank and congratulate some of our employees and some of our students for the past couple of weeks. I want to congratulate East Central School teacher Maggie Tony. She was selected as Teacher of the Week. Also, Braylon Glad was selected as Student of the Week, KCWX. And Braylon has a 99.9 grade on average. I think it's really something to be excited about. Also, I'd like to keep up and try to congratulate everybody that does something, some of the teachers recognition from the district. We had 4 FFF students recognized by the National AT Education. So I'd like to thank Mr. Kessler and his leadership in that, leading those kids to that recognition also. I also like to recognize and thank our coach, our head basketball coach. He volunteered his team to go out and work with a nonprofit organization feeding starving children. So I think that's a great community thing that our coaches are doing and trying to do that around the community. I want to also congratulate Officer Elizabeth Martinez. She's a resource officer at St. Clair Elementary. And she was nominated for leading the EC Way and building relationship with students and families. And I think she does a good job of building relationship with students and families. I can watch her in the morning and she knows exactly what car that belongs to what child gets out of this car, what child gets in that car. So she's really doing a lot to recognize that and see what's going on with students at St. Clair Elementary. Great job. Chief doing that job. I also went to that TA training. It was very interesting. It was presented by Dana Ray, Great School Board Pathway, and I went. It was 8 hours there, so. Yeah, so we talked about vision, we talked about values, we talked about student outcome and guardrails. So it was very educational for me to learn some things, and that I'm looking forward to the next 4 hours. I went over the legacy, and I'm not going to butcher this. I'm going to just say this behind, because I'm not going to butcher the rest. But anyway, he's doing some good things over there. I visited with him. I visited with some of the teachers, some of the front office staff, where things are really looking up over there. He's doing an advisory period. Those is what I'm showing you. I went to different classrooms and different gyms, and they talk about reinforcing school policies, school events, personal issues. So they get a lot of things out that before the morning I think they stay there 30 minutes away from television. And I think that's a good deal to come to good relationships with the students also. On the top corner there, he does what you call a donut Friday. I think that's really a way to show your teachers that you appreciate them. You know, he does that every Friday, what I understand. I noticed last night at the homecoming that Legacy had a pep sport, and that really, I really was impressed with that. I've been on the board for quite a while. I've never seen the middle school, and I wondered why we didn't have a pep sport. Because I think the more we can do to get kids in extracurricular activities is a beneficial to the school and everything else. Just think of every student on your campus in extracurricular activities, they'll all be passing by UIL rules. So I think he's doing a great job to encourage those kids to get in the extracurricular activities. I talked with them a little bit. They have over 250 kids to stay after school. I mean, if you reach out to these kids, sometimes all you have to do is reach out to them and ask them, hey, why are you not in this? Why are you not in that? And some of them, you can recruit like that. Recruit in the halls, you know what I'm saying? You see a kid that maybe want to get into an activity, I would reach out to them. Doing a great job of legacy. Also, That's that 8 hour. That's that 8 hour drill the school board that I attended, and that's Dana Ray. She did a great job of presenting it. By coincidence, her and my wife was co-workers in ISD, but she did a good job. I did learn a lot from in that particular training. The next pictures is I attended Central's home game against Roosevelt. I think that's Mr. K's alma mater. We kind of beat up on him a little bit. That's my grandson. You can see he's enjoying the game. But, he's very friendly with the officers, so we had a good time out there. And I went to the homecoming parade last night. Beautiful parade. I think everybody participated, all the schools, and did a good job. I'm getting out there. Yeah, thanks a lot.
So, had the privilege here, I did, on the top there, Coach Stone there shared a story with me that was touching, to say the least. And they had this young man here personally invited him to go and be part of his varsity where they stick the East Central emblem on their helmets. And he shared the story and how he's been part of his life, being that father figure in his life. And I just, it touched some chords because I've been part of that. Growing up, raised by my grandparents, I understand with this young man some of the challenges, but having a role model in his life and having enough respect and love for him to invite him to be part of that was just huge. And I thought I would share that with you all. So my hat's off to the character building that happens in our sports programs, and seeing that he goes above and beyond was just really says something about our programs. Obviously, we love to win, and the school board means quite a bit. But to me, this means a whole lot more. And the effect that, and not only helping them here in high school, but helping them even with college prospects. Have some schools looking at it and wanting to offer him some opportunities. I think it's just amazing. So, got to go and see the young ladies volleyball, a few games. They played with a lot of heart, and got a chance to go out to Florida too. They had a tournament over there, and these young ladies represent on the volleyball court again. What I'm looking for is the character, and they hold themselves to a high esteem, and they represent the Central way very well. I love that. On the right, or my right, senior showcase. That was a good time, buddy. I didn't realize how it all worked. I went to last year, I guess I didn't pay enough attention. I learned this year, and they get the script that day, and they what's the word? That's not improv. They try out. There's another audition. Thank you. Yeah, my brain went in neutral for a second. They audition, and they give them the seniors give they pick the cast, and then they give them that day, that morning, and by the afternoon they're doing these skits, and they all did well. They're comical, very interesting to see. And some of them, they got the lines down. Some of them are helping the others. You see the camaraderie that happens. This one here, while I was in Houston, had an opportunity to go on a field trip that I enjoyed thoroughly. We went to the CTE program, and it's in Sugar Land. And the story that was there, when they were building their CTE building, they were excavating, and the person using the backhoe found a bone, and he escalated it, and it turned out to be the they did a lot of testing, and I'll keep it short, but it turned out to be human remains. And Sugarland 95, look that up, and there's a story of they found 95 graves in this area, and turned out to be a prison facility there, and so it turned out they have a small depiction, and it has artifacts and stuff like that. Look into that, but it was a touching story. They showed us around the campus. They have a beautiful CTE building, almost as the size of a comprehensive high school, and the kids get to go and have the opportunity to look into different vocationals and stuff like that. Football game, we were definitely not dressed for a football game. We just went to a wedding, but I wanted to stop by. I had told the coach, probably not going to make it, but we were close enough that we stopped by, and typically don't wear my cowboy hat to the football game. I do that day. The homecoming parade, we went. I was representing with my grandson. I had my Holland Forest T-shirt. I did go around to all the other schools and said, you know, my heart is everywhere. I represent everybody. But my grandbabies, I had to sport the Holland Forest shirt there. I did help with the athletic booster club. They were breaking rules and all kinds of stuff. I didn't know what the rules were. You couldn't throw stuff. But I did say something kind of funny where they didn't fire. But anyway, I didn't realize as we were throwing, people had smiles on their faces, and somebody said, you almost got hit.
I did, was it
Might have been my grandson, I told him, we gotta throw it hard and far, but they didn't get the trajectory. They were aiming like right here, so they were throwing like fastballs, so that might have been. Okay, well, but grandson on there on the right, he took an opportunity to take a picture with me, and that was Pop was having to do a lot of persuading, because Mom likes pictures, and if Mom's happy, everybody's happy, right? So I told him, come on, man, I'll get you nice for that. He did. He even smiled. He even smiled. So I think that might be all the pictures. Yeah. So we also had. I was sitting next to Coach there in 8 hours. It was great learning, great learning. Went to Houston as well and sat in some classes and had a chance to actually present as well and asking questions. There was a smaller school from El Paso that was on the panel as well, so we had kind of polar opposite stories to share, but some of the same challenges, different because they're actually losing students. I think she said they lost like 700 students, and of course we're gaining, right? And so we're growing. So that part's different, but neat to see that they're still servicing kids
Oh boy, well, I have been everywhere to start. I will start with, and I'll try to be quick because I got a lot of things I don't see. Yes, I do. This is Lively.
Oh, I was like, I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Is Lively here? Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, not just any. So let me see right there. Let's see. As promised, because I'm an avid player and love of chess, promised you a championship level chess set. Very nice. It is laden with metal pieces. I thought about the marble. Figured if one piece breaks, this thing is done. So I got you the nice metal all the way. Hope you guys find it useful. Okay? And please keep it in this. So wanted to do that first of all. And I make the same offer. This thing, this deal here, I absolutely love. Any other schools that are interested in doing that, let me know. I'll get you the same one and hopefully your school colors. So this one's got the black on top, so that'll match your school.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Made a bunch of open house rounds, to be exact. So here I am over at Heritage. Got a picture of that bee. I thought it was a blackberry or that, but that's just me losing my mind lately. And then Mr. Cepeda had to get in with UT. I was walking through the schools, the hallways, and talking to various teachers about what's been going on, how things are going, how I can be more engaged with the community, what I can help with. And he got my attention. So got a quick picture with him. So stayed there running around. Then I went to, where did I go to next? Oh, it was Harmony and Mrs. Halcomb. So talked with her a little bit, talking to some of the other teachers that were going around, making my rounds, just visiting with the parents as well, just to kind of see how staff was doing, how their kids were engaged, anything I could help with there as well. And next, please. This is the original Harmony. Okay? Let you take a look at it real quick. And Mrs. Byerly, she was absolutely to die for. I will tell you, just in her 70s garb there. But a lot of friends in here, I still keep very close contact. One of my best friends there in the very, very middle, he owns a bunch of nursing homes and has done very well for himself. PC grad, all these folks are PC grad. In particular, anybody see anything interesting? Next slide, I'll help you out a little bit. There I am, third grade, and at the bottom there, any guesses on who that might be?
Looks like a bird.
Okay, next please, sir. Of course, yours truly. So we've been, as I said, I've been part of the community for a very, very long time, got deep roots. She's just one aspect, and it was nice to see her engaged at open house with her parents and everything going on there. So had a good experience there. I will also add that I was at that 8-hour thing as well. That's I didn't even, yeah, we were there. I was there as well. So next please, sir. Next, I jumped over to Pecan Valley Open House, and Mrs. Halbert over there. Got to say hello with her and got a nice picture. And come to find out that we've got deeper roots than we really thought in just talking. I won't even get into any of that. But jumped over here to these folks who were in the, it is the, oh gosh, what was the new class that they had opened at? Yes, Family Resource Center. Next, please. So that was the group there from some of the one of the local chapters, and then one that was there. And it was the Family Resource Center. What they were doing, I was very intrigued and impressed with everything that they had going on, what they were doing for the community, the school, everything from strengthening events, family resources, family care closet. Next slide, please. Oh, and if you go back. And that family care closet was basically for a lot of folks who were in need, a little bit of everything that you might need, everything from groceries to books to necessities. And I actually plan to donate and would ask each of you to, whenever you have an opportunity, to do the same as well. They're doing really, really good, something really good for the community. And then I jumped over to the lakes. And I gotta say, me and my honest heart, had to go see what was going on. Had a very good conversation with Mr. Hyen, very good, in-depth, honest conversation, to be perfectly honest. Those of you who know me, that's what I'm all about. I saw a transformation in walking in the hallways, talking with the teachers, seeing the kids. Everything that he's done has been about the kids, and got some pictures with some folks there. Had to do the giggle. I went in Rome, okay, went in Rome. So met with him and just had to gig him up, and he was very proud of what he was doing, and had to show his garb there. But if you walked around, next please. If you walk around the school, you see a common theme, in my opinion, and it was giving the school back to the kids. And it was let them be who they are, let them showcase their talents, let them showcase their skills, and be proud of where they are and who they are. You see a mix of anything and everything, from band to drill team, to a couple of clowns over here in the far left holding each other up, having a good time. Down below, some very, very dapper looking kids down there in the far left. A little bit of everything. You see the theme running through the hallways, very positive engagement with the kids and allowing them to basically take over the school. Is there, I think I had like 15 more from there. Yes, there we go. And the thing was a positive reinforcement. That's what I gauged and gathered in walking around and taking all these pictures and everything that Mr. Hyen has changed and done, letting the kids showcase their skills and being proud of what they're doing there. So I see the transformation. I think the best is yet to come, to be perfectly honest, and I cannot wait to see the transformation that happens after this. I don't know if you could do any better other than give me an A or a B. I mean, you know, hey. Okay. So, either way there, done. So, a very positive thing. So, thank you, great job, nice visit. Thank you for having me, taking the time to have me out there, Mr. Hyen. Next, I made some games. I made it to the volleyball John Jay game, freshman, JV and varsity. I just having a good old time. And of course, me and my wife, I'm sitting there critiquing their skills. I was a volleyball coach and had a volleyball club for almost 2 decades. So finding things that are wrong and right, and of course, that just goes on and on. Next, please. And then I also made I think that's some more of that game, and then the JV game that's going on. The next would be varsity, so that was against John Jay as they were starting to warm up over there. And then next, please. And then, yes, this is from the far right. One of my neighbors, right across the street, Hope. She plays on the varsity. She was a back row player, and I'm walking in the hallway, not paying attention, and she's like, "Hey neighbor," and I hear it, but I'm not paying attention. And finally, she's like, "Hey neighbor," "Oh, hey Hope, hey, how are you doing?" So. Got a quick picture with her, and this one over here, very, very near and dear to my heart. De'Ara Reynolds. She was a class of 2011, and a pupil of mine in club for, I think, since 6th grade. So we got her an athletic scholarship. She was there at the game, and she has a brand new baby. So everything's come full circle. She was an absolute tremendous athlete. And I think I got my face a little too close to the camera because I don't look like that. But anyway, very, very proud to see a pupil of mine and how she's done in life to this point. And then there was Houston. We did. I have to say first that I learned a lot about a lot of things, and I think Miss Judy told my wife Allison, take his book and just burn it, because I had a ton of ideas, and I took pages and pages and pages of notes. I got a lot out of everything that I went to. The one thing I gotta say is I got to see a different side of some people, and one gentleman sitting up over here, one over there at the podium, a couple of ladies over here. Got to see them in a different light. It was great. It was refreshing. It was good. It was something I did not know. You know, there's one thing about doing your job. That's what they're here for. And there's another thing with realizing that you're human. And a bit more human than I thought. These folks like to have some fun. And I love that. I love that. So one of the sessions I went to, Miss Judy, you'll be happy to hear that I am going to present to my constituents up here that we kind of implement something to carry that on. And I'd love to see the community see what I saw. Because it's negative what you see out there until you see the positiveness that I saw. Here we have our Vice President, Mr. Carrasco. He was giving his presentation, as he mentioned, Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. He said, "You're going to come, right?" I'm like, "Dude, don't want to sleep," but okay, we showed up. He gave a wonderful speech, as he did with the Guarnillo ISD. So I was about to strangle their super over there because she wouldn't shut up and let my man talk. But he finally got to speak and did extremely well. I will say that I'll be amiss to say I missed my board there. I was a bit envious of a lot of the teams that I saw there at the conferences that were there. They were all wearing their shirts. I'm hoping at one point we can schedule or make our schedules together where we can all go. If I'm the one who's missing, I'm the one I think who travels quite a bit, so be it. But I'd like to see more cohesiveness at those events. You can tell what those folks were there for. They divided and conquered. They went to a range of sessions. They were meeting well. Took a few pictures of some of those folks. It was just really, really neat to see the cohesiveness and the energy that they were doing. I ran around a bunch of vendors, got a lot of ideas. Brought back some stuff for Coach. Coach, would you mind showing the socks that we brought back for you? Brought him a range of things that we had picked up, some security stuff, some Raptor stuff, a little bit of everything that we were looking, but he promised to wear these. So he promised to wear them. So I got him. I said, I got to give these to Coach since I'm giving him a folder. So it was a very good. It was a very good weekend, and that was from one of the vendors, in fact. That was one of the vendors. But it was a good weekend, great experience, and I have brought a ton of notes that I will be presenting at some point, Miss Judy. So I think that would do me right there. I think that was yes.
Yeah, so let me have one more. I'd like to recognize Mrs. Knowles. She does an excellent job over there at Sinclair Elementary. She wears lots of hats over there. One day she makes sure that all the cars are parked in the correct place. She's also, I looked out one morning and she was directing traffic. So she does a lot of things over there. I want to thank you for all the things that you do.
All right, so then we have item 6.2, cybersecurity presentation.
Yes, ma'am, it is. Okay, this is something I've just got a kick on. Don't ask me why. I'm not that smart. I'm not that sharp when it comes to this, but paid attention to a lot of things going on in the world and got some information with regard to what we're doing. And this presentation is just a 50,000-foot overview, just some facts, a couple things that I discovered, a couple things that I uncovered, and would love to see us go through and how far we can advance this, because what I'm going to show you here, again, very high level, is where things are in this world. And if we're going to be setting the standard in the curriculum and setting our kids up for success, this is one area. This is one area that is absolutely booming. And there's a lot for everybody, for those of you that can make it that far. I will say this, that before I start the presentation, I could never, I don't know why, something triggers it. And I remember that kid who was 13 years old, I think it was 18, 20, 22 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever it was. That 13-year-old kid that broke into the Pentagon. He was in his house, broke into the Pentagon, gets a knock at his door a few days later. It's the FBI basically saying, well, we don't know how the heck you did it, but you've got two choices. You can come to work for us when you graduate from high school. We'll pay you $125,000 to start, or you can go to prison. So, I don't know what he's doing now, never followed, but I remember hearing that story and I'm like, that little punk. So he started a lot of all this, how this is going on, but just goes to show you that you don't have to be in sports. You don't have to be in any particular clubs. You can be doing a lot of things on your own that lead to much, much further things, better things in life. So talking about cybercrime these days, I'm sure you've heard about it, but I put together a few things here on where the damage is, and data breaches, ransomware, phishing. I heard someone talk about phishing earlier, spoofing scams, identity theft, cyber extortion, child exploitation. Take your pick. Total estimated is around $9 to $10 trillion annually in what all this costs everybody. Scope and size of this, the market is estimated to be as $302 billion currently, and in a few short years, going to be approaching $1 trillion, or $878 billion by 2034. And projects in these three areas in particular would break down the bulk of that, and ranging from Statistica projects, which are online business intelligence platforms, research projects, business projects, totaling 700 to 900 billion in the next 10 to 15 years. Yes. Segment breakdown in services, you can see the range there from everything from consulting to threat protection, firewalls, hardware, identity. Emerging markets are listed down there: IA, ML, threat detection, cloud security. List goes on and on and on and on. These were just some of the things that I highlighted. Job opportunities, obviously, in the public sector, private sector, consulting firms, and of course our DoD military. Compensations range. Here is the interesting part where it gets really, where it just grabs me saying, why not us? Entry level, 0 to 2 years, starting out, a kid could be graduate from high school, starting out making $65,000 a year, 65 to 95,000. In a few short years after that, could be making 100 to 140 plus. Senior level, 180 to 500,000 plus. We actually have a board member here, Mr. Gearhart, who knows a thing or two about cybersecurity and what he does. Can't tell you everything; it's all top secret. So he's, I'm sure he's scanning this and telling me where I went wrong in the data that I found. But he knows a thing or two and knows that it's real the way that this is developing and has been. From there, you just kind of, the sky's the limit with various certifications. Compensations range from entry level and some of the listed there, the Security Plus, CDA degrees in computer science, and you can just see the change of the different opportunities in certifications that are needed in order to advance your career. There's a range of them. And here's a short list of many of them. Many of them are above my head, but they are entry level to mid level to high level to top secret and high security clearance all the way through. Many of which I wonder what we might be able to produce by the time some of these kids get into the high school. So there's just, the list goes on and on and on. These were just some of the ones that I was able to find more common ones. Some of the curriculum that I had involved, a range of things. I had already spoken to some folks here that in kind of where we are with things as far as the curriculum goes and how we might be able to advance that. I got information back that for this particular curriculum in Foundations of Cybersecurity, we've got 20 students, only 20 students currently from 9 through 12. AP Computer Science principles from 8th grade through 12th, 51. AP Computer Science, only 18 from 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. Cyber Capstone, 7 as they are seniors, only 7. And that's typically a senior level project or course. User experience from 8th grade all the way through about another 52. Advanced user experience, again, only 7 from 10 through 12. Fundamentals of computer science, none. Practical and information technology, none. So the different courses that we could offer here, I'm very interested in seeing how far we can take this. I know we're currently doing competitions, which is outstanding. I'd like to see what we could do, and I know hands are tied with TEA to some extent and degree, but I'd like to see what else we could potentially offer that I bring to you guys for dual credit courses, certifications. If we're talking CCMR, let's get them some high-tech exposure as well as we go through this. Partnerships, UTSA, Incarnate Word, take your pick. There is early interaction I found out with the young ones. And so you're not putting them in front of a computer asking them to solve programs or do programming. There are flashcards that they can start working with, as early as kindergarten and in elementary school, I found out. So there's a range of things that we could do that I bring to you all, to see what expertise you might lend, where we might be able to push some of that agenda. High school ready. Here are some coursework that I had put in. Amanda, you can take a look at this and tell me, scratch this out and go from there. But this was some of the information I found, coursework by grade. And you can just see the list. I won't go through all of them, but you can see some of the higher end curriculum and certifications that these kids can get by grade. So that way, by the time they're in 11th and 12th grade, they are well more than employable. And in finding out that for every position, found this out, every position that there is a cybersecurity expert, for every person that is cybersecurity, there are 4 jobs. There's at least 4 jobs. They're writing their own paychecks. They are calling the shots. They are making things happen. I'd like to see what we can do to help those kids out. I know we've got some. We have to have some. We got to bring them out early, find out who's interested, and see where we can take this. But you can see the list of certifications. I'm also interested in the dual credit part of this, in partnering with. Next slide, please. And with folks like UTSA, I had a very, very long, lengthy conversation with UTSA and their cybersecurity AI team. There was a lot of PhDs in on that conversation, a lot of community involvement, and the engagement was extremely positive. They were not able to be here tonight. I wanted to bring them tonight to talk a little bit more about it, but they're very excited. They're excited about the growth that we have, the potential that that could bring to them. I asked for equipment, for support, for money. I just asked for money. I said, hey, what can you bring to us? We're willing to let you have, or look at what we have to offer as Central and make it a hub for going straight into UTSA or other partnerships. They said, hey, UTSA, we don't have to have the first one. They can choose where they want to go, but we can at least help set that foundation. So be expecting more UTSA. Might even be the very next meeting if they bring some more information, and I'll be sure to grab some other folks here, to engage with that. These are just my ideas. I don't know what you know. I just want to start some things and then pass it off and see where it goes at that point. Maybe not in my lifetime, but certainly for those kids that are coming up. And next please. And for me, proof is in the pudding. He could not be here. He's having a graduate student of mine from 2013, Mr. Willie White. He's having his second child, and I couldn't be here. I wanted to bring him here, but he is a young man that I've kept in contact with over the years that is very heavily involved with this. I think he's going to get ready, him and some partners here, to start their own company. And I asked if I'd be ahead before it was public. So maybe some opportunity there. But that young man is turning down $250,000 a year jobs right now. Okay? He's actually approaching 400 plus. He's been offered 325, 350. He's saying no. He says, Coach David, he still calls me Coach David, thought of a good news. I can make 400 plus. And if we start our own company, the sky's the limit at that point. So for me, there is proof positive, and I'm hoping to have him here next time. I hope everything was well with this new child, but we've got students out there right now, I can guarantee it, like Mr. Wiley, who are just waiting for that opportunity to shine and showcase what they do. We don't want the FBI knocking on those doors, saying, hey, you broke in over here and you're going to prison. We definitely don't want that. I think we take that and enhance that a bit further to what they can do. So that was it in a nutshell, folks. That was just an idea that I brought. I have a lot of crazy ideas. You can ask Ms. Burns over there, Shannon. She's known me since the 6th grade, and I will keep them coming as long as I can. But anyways, so I'll shut up with that, but just leave you all with those thoughts.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. All right, so next item 7 is superintendent's report.
board goal update, turn it over to Jonathan in your miscellaneous packet. You have the slide deck, first one along that way. Jonathan will also present the slide deck as it talks through the board's goal progress.
Madam President, this is Scott, members of the board, and the opportunity to briefly go through some of our data from the beginning of the year. It feels like we just got started, but we've got some of our early data in. I'm going to give you a little tour of it. The way it's structured is we're going to look at those long-term goals and see how we did so far. And then we're going to pivot into those, some of those main goals that we looked at last year. We were awarded out with annual result measurements. We've got 4 long-term goals that we can give you an update on. So in the top left-hand corner, we've got our goal for third grade math. And our goal is to get up to 43%, and we're starting the year off at 34%. So we're in striking distance. Now when you look at these achievement goals like this, I don't want you to think about it so much as something that happened during this year. It's more, where did the kids start the year, right? So beginning of the year testing. And so teachers haven't had a lot of opportunity to move the needle on those numbers yet. So it kind of shows you where are we starting at, how far are we away from the goal. Over on the right, you can see our third grade reading. We're at 38%, trying to get up to 44%. And then underneath that, you can see our fifth grade goals. Our fifth grade goals are a little further away, but typically fifth grade is a great year of growth in East Central. It's usually one of our highest growing grades. So while it looks a little further away than our third grade one, I think as we monitor that through the year, I'm anticipating that we'll see some real movement with our amazing fifth grade. I'm going to pivot into those 4 big goals from our annual result measurements that we look at. So we have attendance. So our attendance goal for the district for the year is 94%, which is a 1 8/10 increase. I want you to think about 2/10 as a really noticeable chunk. That's not it sounds small to say 0.2%, but when we're talking about attendance, 2/10 would be a really noticeable thing. So 1.8 is a really ambitious goal, so we're excited about that. Our behavior goal is a little different than anything we've seen before. So I want to kind of narrate that a little bit. We have an external auditor that comes in for the last 9-10 years, and they evaluate our systems, and they call the score at 80 fidelity. It would be like you've got a solid system. And so that's what we're trying to get to by the end of the year. And so we have some internal systems where we look at and coach around that. I can give you an update on how we're doing, and then starting next meeting, we can actually kind of score where we anticipate people are so far. And that number, we hope will go up throughout the year. So that's a little different number than the other ones. Something maybe different than what we're accustomed to seeing. Going along with our behavior is our discipline goal. So we've got a discipline goal. This was focused on serious misbehavior. So last year we looked at all discipline incidents, and we said, hey, we don't want to get lost in the weeds of the minor incidents. And so we're looking at only the serious ones, and if we want a 15% decrease. So I want you to see how we're doing on the first few weeks of school. And our last goal is around student achievement. Now, we mirrored the state accountability system. In domain 1, they look at approaches, meets, masters, and they put it together. And the number is 44. So 44 is a number that we believe if we reach that goal, campuses would have to grow so much that they would be at least a B rating. So each of those, we kind of looked at everything and then aggregated into a whole to see how we were doing. And you can see every campus's share. So looking at attendance so far, try to get it down to a little chart for you. So in the first column is how did we do last year in the first 5 weeks. The next one over is how did we do this year in the first 5 weeks. What was the campus's goal for the year? If you put every campus's goal together, it does add up to that 94% for the district. And then how did we do in change from last year to this year in that first 5 weeks? And then how much of an increase would you need to reach your goal? So based on all of that, so far Valor's doing great. They're mostly above their goal, they're on track to meet it. Now looking at CAS, Central High School and Legacy, they are up on the year, so we have that plus sign showing that they're up. But if you project that out, if you look at the trajectory they're on, they're not yet on track to reach that goal. So they're not on track yet, but they are showing increases. Switching over to elementary school, it works the same way. I want to call attention to a couple of things. I want to call attention to Oakcrest, Salado, and Tradition. They are doing fantastic already on track. They're tracking year over year. They continue the momentum. We're going to meet those ambitious goals. I want to call attention to Salado, even though they were our highest last year at 96.7. Through this time, they actually increased by 0.6%. Really setting the mark for the district. Like, that's super impressive. I want to call attention to honor. So honor is down, but I want you to notice at 96.5%, that's the second highest elementary school. So Laura's statement of how impressive they are right now and how impressive it was last year. So even though it's down, they're not tracking yet to that goal. They are very high for our district. And then I want to call attention to the Pond Valley and Harmony are up noticeably, especially the Pond Valley, even an 0.8% increase is really, that's really impressive for 5 years of school. Switching over to behavior, we have, this is one I want you to think about, it increases over time. We have 4 schools that are tracking well on their way to the goal already, and so that's really good news. We know that campuses that have strong behavior systems have a strong relationship to lower discipline students. So the stronger the teaching and learning we do, and the better job that behavior system is, and it's reinforced with all the good practices, that causes less discipline. So this one I want you to kind of pair with the discipline. I think Mr. McKay, when he showed the data to you guys recently, pointed out that correlation where you can see the top elementaries with strongest systems had the least discipline. And then our coordinator for social emotional does lots of work around this area. And she's got a map where it literally shows you where you are, how you're getting scored at the end of the year, and what your next steps are. So we're utilizing those maps to help coach and help campuses kind of keep taking the next step, until they reach that 80% of the goal. We are seeing, as we go through classrooms, stronger routines and procedures in classrooms than I've ever seen before to start the school year. We've got postings all over the campuses. It's clearer and better before. As you get out around campuses, I hope you're seeing those clear behavior expectations throughout the school. And then I'm listed as our hotspot here. The secondary aren't as high yet. And you'll see that data again next month as we can kind of show you exactly how we're moving up towards that 80 mark. So I'll give you guys some good numbers so you can see that going forward. It's just a little early to have that for you this time. Looking at those serious misbehaviors, try to mirror the way I did the attendance chart, where you can see, hey, how did it look through 5 weeks last year and then this year? And what would the goal be through 5 weeks? And how much of a change did we have on time? And what would you need to reach the goal? So great news from our secondary, Cassidy, Legacy, and Valor are all on track to meet their goals. I want to say East Central High School has less incidents than they had last year, but not quite enough yet to meet the mark for the year. So we'll keep an eye on that. We do have more incidents over at Heritage so far. Mr. McKay, Mr. Hernandez, and Sarah are working with them closely, trying to find exactly where, optimizing around the system, trying to make sure that we stay ahead of that, because we know early behavior systems, early intervention, we can make a bigger impact. The earlier, the stronger we are, the better we do throughout the year. I also want to say that vaping is one of our concerns at secondary that shows up in that same group of Mr. McKay, Mr. Hernandez, and our social emotional coordinator are coordinating around that to work with counseling and other ones to make sure that as we're able to kind of address those underlying issues for those kids, where they're using substances with vaping, things that we can really help message around that, help those kids address those underlying issues so that we can reduce students' behaviors going forward. Pivoting over to elementary school, I want to call out Hunt Forest, Hunt Valley, Salado Tradition, all on track. It's really important, when you have low numbers, it can be a little misleading. Does this make sense? To say that Harmony, Honor, Oakcrest, with one incident are off track, I feel like that's a little misleading as a number. Does that make sense? So last year at this time we had none, now we have one. I think that we need a little bit longer to kind of see what that trend is before we can really draw conclusions for our elementary school. So we'll keep you updated on that. I know for all of these, Mr. McKay keeps the details in the packet so you get more information on what types of incidents, and where they occur in what areas. So I'm going to refer to it. It's in there, I believe, in the board hub as well.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
In elementary school, give me an example of what a serious behavior is.
So, Mr. McKay, there were like 8 of them?
There's like 8, but the one we see, it's been fighting. It's been a
In
fight.
elementary school?
Yes.
Interesting. Thank you.
And I mean, some of these elementary schools, we have 800 kids, so 800 kids over, I believe this is our first 5 weeks of school, so, one kid out of 800 over 5 weeks is we take it all seriously, right? It's, just trying to keep the numbers in perspective, if that makes sense. Pivoting to our achievement, again, I want you to think about achievement not as something that, it's hard to be off track, so I didn't color anything on red, because it's really kind of the product of what you had before. And so, again, I tried to mirror what we did in the other one, so how did we do in math and reading? We're beginning of the year to combine. What I want you to see here is our reading tends to be higher than our math. And then our combined, our overall district goal is at 44, which you can see every campus is going to have a specific goal. And then column CAST is very high and on track. Valor, we're really thrilled with their scores so far this year as well. They're on track. They're on track to meet their goal. Pivoting over here to our elementary schools. I'm going to shout out 2 of our schools here. Pecan Valley, they have really been working hard on those early grades. Last year we tracked that data. We saw 3rd grade was really strong. That 3rd grade stayed very strong in 4th grade. And we're seeing the new 3rd grade came up strong. And so they are actually on track already with their goal. And I think they're just getting started. And Honor. I want to call out Honor is already showing an increase in their scores and that they're getting pretty close to their goal as well. So that's great news. And then I want you just to look again at the reading versus the math, those first 2 columns. And I want you to see again that the reading tends to be the higher one. A couple of exceptions I want to call out. Highland Forest is doing an exceptional job with the math that really helped power their high rating last year. And so you can see that 46 and 47 is really close. And I want to call out our dual language campuses. If you recall, I kept cautioning last year and saying, hey, some of our data like this, they took it in English and in Spanish, and so that tends to give their reading scores a lower result because you've got the one they're getting tested and their other one, so it tends to lower it. So when we see Oakcrest and Salado with a star on them, it's reporting a little lower score than what we're going to see later in the year. And so it depends on what test we're taking, but I just want to call attention to the fact that those aren't as low as it looks. It's a product of the 2 languages to the assessment. Let's see some bright spots. Our Cassidy 8th graders at middle school scored very, very high again. That's great news. Our Valor students were exceptionally high for that reading test. We've not seen a cohort in 6th grade score like that before. And so Valor's really off to a great start with no discipline incidents, super high test scores. Been over there, got to go in every classroom a couple times. And they're really starting off strong. So kudos to Valor. Elementary, if we're looking at like a fifth graders, 5 out of 8 of our campuses are higher than they were a year ago. Fourth grade, it's 6 out of 8, and for third grade, it's 7 out of 8. And so elementary school, we thought we had a good year last year, and it's great to look at the beginning of your data and say, yes, the beginning of your data is confirming we did have a good year last year, and that we are higher than we did before. We saw lots and lots of cases K2s. Overall, K2 is higher than before, especially kinder and second grade are higher than prior years. Third grade math came in stronger than we've seen. Algebra is holding tight and is on track to have another strong year. We saw big gains of math. I was going to list out 9 schools, that seemed excessive. To say big gains, those 5 were exceptional gains. So Highland Forest, year over year, exceptional. Oakcrest, a lot of tradition and honor. So those are great. That's great news for all those campuses. We have hotspots, so we know that our literacy reading tends to be higher at secondary than elementary school, but we're seeing a lot more movement. So elementary is moving quickly. The secondary, even though it's still a little higher, it's not moving as fast. It's pretty stagnant. It's pretty much where we were a year ago. And while K2 was strong, we're seeing first grade literacy lower. First grade is a really important year where you learn literacy skills. And so it's something we're keeping an eye on. So it's something a little bit newer for us. So we're keeping an eye on what's going on in first grade. And then again, we've noted that our math achievement is low in reading. We talked a lot about 6th and 7th grade math being a concern. We're still seeing that in the data. In our second teach at middle school, we have that new second teach. It's so new. It's not something that we're panicked over. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is it's still very new, and we're not seeing it fully realized yet. It's not up to 100% of what we think it'll be when we really get going. So we're going through a period of learning and adjusting and trying some things out, and we're encouraged by what's going on, but it's not there yet. And the second teach will impact especially 6th and 7th grade math, because they get a first teach and then they have that second teach opportunity as well. So next steps, our strategy on the page talks a lot about data-driven instruction and our data dashboard. We do have a data day tomorrow, so all kids stay home, and the day tomorrow for every campus, the teachers are sitting together looking at data and adjustments. And so that's a big deal for us. And then the next Friday is for planning. We do coaching. So we have external partners, Great Minds, who's helping us with coaching. And we talked, I believe, last week a little bit about how a lot of the campus plans talk about standards focus. And so that's still important for our work. And we did start this year with a new position. So we have a grant funding elementary math coach. So we recognize that those math scores aren't as high, especially some of those spots in elementary that we're trying to address it. And we're working for all the data we have here, trying to get it into that dashboard, the board hub you have. So our hope is that in the near future, I was hoping to give you a preview today, to be honest, but I don't have a preview for you yet. But I'm hoping to get you a real nice way where you can see it a little bit more on demand, and we can give you a little bit bigger preview of the board meeting of those key areas. And so we're working with a number of people on it. I met with somebody a couple hours ago who worked with some other districts in Somerset, trying to see what's out there, what are the best practices, and how we can make that as transparent for you as possible. And so you guys can see it, we can see it, make great plans and actions going forward.
Back to the serious
Yes, sir.
I see junior high level. I see a pretty big contrast, legacy, heritage, significance. So are we using some of the tactics that they're using in legacy to help with
ahead of time, meet with their families, get them on some behavior contracts, maybe tailor their schedules as appropriate as we need to. Some of it is I know that the school has had a couple of grade level meetings with all the students to really lay down what some of those expectations are, making adjustments and where staff are monitoring, particularly during transition times. We are seeing an increase. Mr. Holden had mentioned some vaping as well, so part of that is what can we do to make sure that there is some measures in place, either how are we educating parents and the community around the dangers of that, but then also how do we make sure that we're mindful where these events are happening and make sure we're being more proactive in those areas. And on the back end, the student is found, whether at any of the secondary schools, how are we providing some emotional support, getting them the counseling they need as well, because there's some kind of dependency, and that's for them and their family. So I think that's one of the areas that we're really trying to work with, like programs like T-Chat, things there. So it's a multi-pronged approach. It's all hands on deck, and everything we can do to make sure we're trying to stay on top of it as best that we can. Particularly, I know working with Ms. Chase and the team there, it has been a significant increase in the 6th grade level. So we're really trying to highlight what's going on in that particular grade level. We know it's a huge transition moving from 5th grade to 6th grade with the number of classes they have and learning how to operate within that. So we're going to be continuing to work on it and really dive in and see what we can do. So there is a meeting set up tomorrow with several of us to really start diving into the progressive adjustments.
Yeah, I guess because I guess what I'm noticing is, or seeing is, we have a model that seems to be working, and one that's needs some. I just want to make sure whatever we can do to support that. Number one, and number two, to make sure even if we have to do some the drastic thing, I know there's one thing that was pretty drastic with backpacks. Like, so I don't know if that's something, but definitely need to make sure we do it. And let me rephrase that. I know y'all are doing all you can, but we just gotta make sure we do it and stay on top of it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay, next item on the agenda is item 7.3, line instructions update. I'm sorry. Skip that. 7.3, personnel report.
Yeah, just real quick, this much report is there in your packet, and then you could questions.
Now, it says 1.3, line instructions update.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Thompson, provide this month's update, you have it both ways, you follow along electronically or in your packet.
Good evening, we're going to start as always in the ballot. Really good progress sustained there. You can see they're coming through that last wing with the exterior masonry work as well as the metal work on the exterior. The first wing farthest from us in that picture, they've actually, since this building has been energized, they have the air conditioning on, so they're doing the finish out work. Meaning that they're going to do all of that roof work and finish out along that. So good progress there, we're staying right on schedule. Victory, also that crew is moving very quickly through this building as well. You can see the whole front of that building has a face to it. The last wing there in the back, you can't see so well. In the last metal studs and the crew work up there as well. Good progress on that, and they are staying. CTE, we got final sheetrock in there. The flat work, all the concrete work will be finished at the end of this month. Good progress there as well. We haven't found any bones yet, so we feel like we're going to be low. And for those that are interested, transportation facility, we should be getting the final plat in the next 2 weeks. And it has gone to the county. We're anticipating the release on that to get their permit over there probably elementary school number 10 was released out for bid. We've got 5, 6
school foundation event this weekend at St. Henry Legion Hall. The foundation is doing a fall fundraiser, cornhole tournament. I know all of you, I see you have bought some raffle tickets earlier, which is fantastic. You don't have to be present to win, but you can swing by there. I know the community and the foundation would love to see you. Then next week, 26th, Friday, is also a holiday, but it is staff development. Moving into October. Next board workshop is on the 9th, starting at 5 o'clock here in the boardroom. Next regular meeting is on the 16th. There is a student holiday on the 13th. And on the 14th, I wanted to point out the Dudes at the Door event at our middle schools, Heritage, Legacy, and Valor. That is one thing that we really tried to do since last year to really engage students at the junior high level with as much male presence as we can. There's a lot of boys middle school level that just really make connections with smile on their faces. But all students seem to be really responding to the youth for morning welcome events really positive. So if you're available to make it at any of those campuses, we start at 7:30. Love to have you.
Question?
Yes, sir.
What is that event about particularly? Just engage talking?
Yeah, it's just about getting, as many male role models from the community and in the school community as well to show up and just be there as kids arrive and welcome them. High five, shake their hand, meet them. Start the day off really positive and just share a lot of presence. It's just an idea that we had last spring and it went really well. I know that the folks that were able to join really seem to get a lot of benefit from it, and that the participation has grown each story after day. Then you'll see the week of the 20th of October is early voting starts, November election. Early voting the 20th through the 30th here in Florida.
There are girls at the door, because she likes balls. She resigned me after that.
And I think that we take all volunteers. Kids love to see all adults.
All right, moving into the action agenda, we have item 8.1, size waiver exception.
In kindergarten through fourth grade, as you're well aware, TA requirement is a class size of not exceed 22. However, if you do have class sizes that exceed that, there is a waiver process through the agency. It's just a matter of identifying the number of classrooms at each grade level at each campus. Fill out the application, submit it. It's not a matter of whether it be approved or not. It's just a matter of identifying those classrooms that are going to exceed 22 and then submitting that request to the agency. We are not always happy that we have classes that exceed 22. In many cases, in recent years, our strategy there has been that in those classes that exceed 22 is where we have resident teachers who are with a high-performing mentor. And so we found that model to be really effective in not only developing and growing our own, getting the ability to hire so many residents before they hit the job market because we raise them here, it's been really beneficial from a student standpoint. But we've also found that that's a good strategy for mitigating some of the large class sizes that are happening because of the continued rapid growth of enrollment in many of our schools. So we do have 25 classroom waivers that we're submitting this year. I believe last year we were closer to 40, so it is down. We did do a pretty good job projecting enrollment and allocating staff, but still there are some circumstances where we did have to vary some residents and mentors each in some cases do exceed 22 students in some classrooms. We have to answer any questions. The report is there. You can see the campus rating, and then at each grade level from pre-K to fourth grade, at each of those schools where there are class sizes that exceed strategy that we had used on several is to redistribute those kids across classrooms. And in some cases, that may cause the class to get temporarily over the two. That does not require a waiver if it's a temporary situation, but if it is a long-term situation, we have.
What is considered?
The teacher's coming back, teacher records coming back, so it may be a few weeks, maybe a maternity leave period. But if it's a permanent situation, these are the 25 classrooms that at this point are permanent situations. Does that help?
Yes.
The next item is 8.2. Go back. Can I get a recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Madam President, I recommend board approval of the application for the class size exemption waiver as presented.
I have a recommendation by the superintendent. Can I get a motion? Got a motion from Mr. Wilson and a second. Ms. Friedenhunt, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Now, item 8.2, East Central School Foundation donation.
Yeah, so per board policy, any donation greater than $5,000 must be approved by the board. What we're bringing tonight is the foundation's budgeted allocation for mini grants, as well as supporting summer programs, as well as supporting student services, and a program in which the foundation is continued support where teachers who obtain certification in difficult to fill areas can get reimbursement for the cost of those exams. The foundation supports all of that with the donation that they're providing the district of $176,000, $176,457. And so we have to answer any questions, and their annual meeting Saturday will solidify that number for us. And that's the largest number that they've been able to contribute. Are very eager to continue to have successful fundraising events and continue to build upon their success in supporting our teachers and students. And again, all of this goes back directly to supporting our students. All right, trustees, I recommend the board accept the donation from the East Central Foundation as presented.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent. Do I have a motion? A motion from Mr. Roscoe. Do I have a second? Second from Mr. Wilkie. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next section is consent agenda. Is there anyone that would like something to be removed from the consent agenda before it's approved? All right, so can I have a motion for the consent agenda to be approved as presented? I have a motion from Ms. Friedenhunt. Do I have a second? I have a second from Mr. Carrasco. All those in favor? Aye.